Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on a video. Welcome back to the channel where last time we were here we did a live stream build where we built a park, the Ordway Cliffs, and I really enjoyed it. It's a ton of fun doing those live streams, and I promise to do live streams at different times because Friday nights Eastern time doesn't always work for everyone. So in the future I'll definitely try and get them at different times of the day. But in today's episode we are going to be doing some rail and traffic fixes. This is the last episode of Fort Prairie before we move on to our new series for the next little while. So I figured what better way to end this kind of good run we've had with Fort Prairie than with a bit of a traffic and rail fix. There's one area in particular out in Brownsville that we'll be looking at, and we'll be looking at connecting up some of our rail networks in a different way, and then various other fixes around town. So let's hop out and take a look at what we did last episode. So here we are in Ordway Cliffs, just outside of Ordway, and we did a really fun build where we did a bit of a nature reserve walking path, tons of open space. We chatted a lot in the live stream, and and then we also have it down over here with a secondary gate and future connection point over here, because I'm not sure what we're going to do with this land, but definitely a lot of it will be reserve land. And then the main feature of this area is the soccer field with this key wall that overlooks the soccer field, kind of creating a bit of like a larger grandstand. And that was a great suggestion by Jen during the live stream. So one other thing that I did off camera is I was just kind of playing around with some things, and I realized we kind of missed this one section over here by Winslow Metro. So I filled it up with some high density residential. I think this is a good little fit. We needed the residential demand, so why not place it here? I figured too, if this was like a redevelopment, it would make sense to put some residential over here, seeing as it's so close to the metro station. And it's only 2 stops from the downtown station. So here's the one metro, here's the second metro, and then you're right downtown in 2. And you want to get to Central Station, it's 3. Oh, here's Central Station. So where is Brownsville? Brownsville is a farming town that we built up a long time ago. It is all the way over here. And it has a unique feature, hence the name Brownsville Crossing. It is this crossing in particular that we're going to be looking at. During our live stream, we turned off traffic despawning, and we saw the end result of what happens if traffic cannot despawn. This whole area clogged up, and this realistic type of interchange here is going to need to be fixed. So what we're going to do is this rail line actually slopes upwards to get to this cargo station over here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to smooth that slope out, and we'll elevate the junction here and then right here as well. We might leave this one at grade. This is just for buses, so it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it's probably a good idea to separate the grades anyways. So this is a long time coming, and the reason why we left it like this for so long is because I feel like this is kind of the namesake of the town of Brownsville Crossing, and I wanted to leave it as long as we could, but clearly at this point in the city's development, we can't. However, one of the main issues is that all the trains run through here. So if we were to get a different connection that heads off over here, because right now we do have a secondary connection for any trains that want to run in this direction, but then go over here to Dunn, for example, we don't have that same bypass for trains that want to go over on this side. So we can create that connection over here. We have the rail capabilities right over here with our with our massive rail junction. So we can bring that rail around through here and connect it up beside the airport, where we have a rail connection already ready to go. So that's something we're going to do today as well. And I think these two things together will stop that traffic issue from happening and any cargo backups that may occur. We just left that area and we just came back to it and look at the traffic, it's pretty gnarly already. So, and it also backs up onto this node as well, which can really clog things up. So it's just best if we separate these grades. Look at this mayhem. There's like 10 police cars here too. So let's start off today's episode by clearing the trees out of the buildings, because apparently the trees are growing through the buildings. And we'll kind of just have to re-detail this junction afterwards. This is a pretty major junction, and particularly with this one as well. This is our rapid bus network that flows through here into our massive bus station for all the rural buses. But I think we're going to change this up at some point down the line into incorporating trams or something. But yeah, the BRT runs through here. It's the main junction for rural and suburban buses to get downtown. Oh yeah, we never really did this junction or this transit station either. We'll get to that for sure. And yeah, so this rapid bus network is really convenient for the people of the rural parts of the region. So I think freeing this up would be beneficial in the long run as well. All right, so we'll get started by just deleting the junction. I think that's probably our best bet. Probably going to lose some buildings here and whatnot, but that's okay. And then we'll also delete this road, because I want to line up the rail first. I think that's going to be the most important factor. So let's open up the network multi-tool, and we'll do the sloping tool. And we'll set the slope from here, which is a historical train station of Brownsville Crossing. So I don't want to delete the station. Right now it's just not in use. So if we were to slope it all the way to here, we can see that it's quite the big slope. So if we smooth that out to a 2% slope, which isn't the best in the world, it's really not, but it's okay. Otherwise we're going to need to sink a lot of stuff over on this side, and I'm not really interested in that. But I think what we've kind of created here is a bit of a trench, which is exactly what I was hoping for. So they've clearly redone this junction since the original Brownsville crossing. So I think we're pretty safe to kind of defer from the historical aspects that we've been kind of playing with in the past. All right, so now let's connect this road up. And I was thinking it might be a good opportunity for us to expand the grade of the road to something like the asymmetrical 5-lane roads for everything. So we are going to go up, turn off node snapping for the first one. And 3 meters high is probably not tall enough. So let's, first of all, place it right about here. All right, so we are going to need to do a lot of tweaking, which is okay. So it looks like the city probably bought up some of this person's land, so we're just going to kind of redraw the boundary right there, take off that, and then make sure we take off that. And then also it looks like the commercial has kind of been redone here, so probably lost this farmer's market, but that's okay. I think in the end it'll all be worth it for how this is going to affect the town. All right, so kind of what we've done here is the main support for this intersection probably would be off-center from the, here it is, you can see it, off-centered from the rail. So the rail was the original center point of this intersection, so they've probably moved it. And we're going to keep this road as the main kind of avenue here. So as long as this is straight, and it wasn't, so good thing I caught that. That's straight enough, so I think we'll be good there. We'll move the support. We also need to raise the node because it definitely needs to be taller for the fact that this is a cargo rail station. And then this is also pretty steep onto itself. So let's clean up this intersection. We're going to kind of add dedicated turning lanes. We're going to remove crosswalks where we don't need them, and then we'll talk about how it connects up into here in a second. All right, so here we have it so far. This is looking pretty good. So we have a giant car crash on beneath the bridge. That's wild. So the trains will flow pretty smoothly through here now uninterrupted, and we have a bit of a legacy kind of road here, right? So the road would have originally, before it was kind of redone here, gone directly straight, but now the road kind of curves, and that's okay. Sometimes that happens when, you need to avoid something like this, right? The road gets rerouted because of something important. And when we come to this junction, it's entirely functional, works great. We don't need that extra lane for this side here, because a lot of the right-hand turn traffic should be probably going that way in different directions. So I don't really mind having this extra lane here, or not having this extra lane here. We might throw it in at the end, we'll see, but we're not done this node yet. So I was playing around with it, realized that we still need to fix it, finish it up with the BRT connection here. And then over on this side, we just have 2 lanes going down into one. We might extend that as well, seeing as we have 2 lanes down here anyways. So yeah, we'll see about that later on, but I think I said that next we were going to deal with this section here, which is totally cool. And then since we took out commercial over here, I added it onto this road instead of this one, because I'd rather not have commercial on this road anymore. Don't mind it on this one now. We've changed things. Okay, so this is a bit of a tough situation. We have some historical buildings and some non-historical buildings, which I don't know what happened here, so we'll have to choose their buildings again. All right, fantastic. Hopefully we get those to stay. So pretty much I think what we need to do is we need to keep this grade of street, and what we'll do and to do that is use this small 4-lane road for that. And as a result, we have, successfully upgraded this. So let's do a bit of fixes here. So for example, right here, we don't need a light. There's not really a point. So what we'll do is we'll just throw a yield sign here. We also don't need crosswalks on this road. So we'll take off the crosswalks just like that. And then over here, we need to square off the node. It's a little awkward. If we square it off, it should look a little nicer. Yeah, it does. And we won't have dedicated turning lanes. Let's see, do cars need to access this? No, we don't need a left-hand turn coming from this side, because they can access the cargo station from doing that. So we can take off the left-hand turn right here, which should free up some space. And then over here, we do need the right-hand turn, but it won't be dedicated for now. All right, so we have a bit of an awkward node here. So we'll open node controller, and we'll open it up, and we'll just delete the node, and then there you go. All the funkiness that we originally had no longer is needed. So perfect. There's a lot of detailing that we're going to need to fix up because this was a heavily detailed area. So let's choose just fences. There we go. Now we can select this node, and we'll bring this back to about here, and then we'll grab this node over here, and we'll just pull it up like that. So we're just rerouting the desire path in a way. And then this road doesn't need to go all the way over there. Let's just lower it a bit as well. Make it seem a bit more realistic. All right. Very good. And here's a train. Does it clear? Kind of. We just need to fix this support beam. All right. So no wide loads on that train or anything like that, because it looks like it's a tight squeeze, but I think it's going to work out in the end. Okay, so now we need to fix this segment here. Now we just need to connect up this rapid bus network. Now this road here, this industrial road, is an access road for the buses. So if we were to just pretty much connect up here, I don't think it's going to necessarily need to be that way. I think we can play around with this a little bit better. So let's see. We need a node. Let's turn off some guidelines here so we can have everything proper. So we need a node here, and then we need another node here. So I think that's mandatory to start off with. So let's grab all these nodes, or there's two nodes, and we'll set them to the same height as this one. There we go. So now we need to have this curve down into here. So I don't think we need this road anymore, so we can delete it. And then I'll just pull this path back so we don't accidentally remove it, because we're going to need that in a second. But let's take this. Oh no, not the post. We need the whole road. And we'll go with a smooth curve. Let's turn our guidelines back on. So we're not clicking into it, but it's about there, so that's okay. We'll do that, and then we will just do a bit of slope from here to here. 7.9% is quite a big slope. So let's see if we can lower this. I think we can lower these two a bit. To about there. Yeah, I think that's about as far as we can get. So I think we're okay to do that. And then let's move some of these trees out of the way as well. All right, so now this old access road has been cut off, and we are going to leave it because it will show kind of the historical element to this area. And maybe we could have a bit of an industrial area over here. Let's think about this really quickly. What could go here? Well, we have residential already there, so that won't work. We're gonna have a path that could connect to here anyways. And then maybe we could bring it under the bridge and connect onto this side. Maybe we can connect on both sides. And then once we do that, we can see how much space we have left. All right, so there we have it. We have the BRT flyover in a way, and then we have all the paths around here. Oh, it disappeared. I was trying to get this cool bar here, but it doesn't seem to want to be here. So why don't we try and switch it up to another sort of industrial revival type looking building. So we'll see if that sticks, and then I want to detail that up in the detailing time lapse. We have a bit of a bus kind of situation here. It looks like some buses use this access road to join here. So we're going to need to figure out a way for these buses to kind of reroute, because otherwise they're going to have to go through the main road here. So I'm thinking a good idea would be to take one of these roads and connect a bus junction up into this node here. It's a bit steep, but I think it might be worth it for the extra connection and not clogging up the main street here. But that'll be kind of a last resort thing, because I don't really want to change the pedestrian area. So we'll also look at some buses momentarily. It's taking a little while for commercial buildings to get built here because, or for some reason, because I really want to see if this one will stay. Otherwise, we're going to look at some other ones. But detailing through here, I think it would be nice just to keep it a bit forested and hide the flyover from the town a little bit, because kind of hiding that with some trees might look nice. I think that would definitely work. Oh, look, it's not the building that I placed. All right, I think this one works out better anyways. Having this be like a bit of a coffee shop, I think really works. It looks like there's also a bus stop in here. So if that is a bus stop, we will play with that in a second, and we'll, add in some detailing to configure to that. But let's take a look at the bus stops that we've affected, because we're going to need to redo some of the routes here. So this pink bus seems like the one that is the big question mark here. So the pink bus goes into Prairie Station and then connects up with the metro system. So this is just a bit of a commuter bus, it seems, from Brownsville directly into the metro. So I think we can be safe to say that we could keep this here. But I would want it on the other side, to be honest. Bit of an awkward turnaround though. So why wouldn't it be just right here, or preferably probably right there? There's a house right there, which is fine. But then we have another stop right over here, but this is so that people can get off to the BRT should they wish, because it goes through Brownsville here, and it looks like Brownsville has expanded since our last bus audit through here. So why don't we add a stop right here, and then it looks like we could probably even add a stop right here for these people over on this side. It's a bit far to walk from over here, so what we could do is we could just move this stop to right here. I'm not going to worry about getting a bus to this cul-de-sac, but I think this could be good to have a couple extra suburban stops. And then, yeah, this works because this will shuttle people to the BRT and then also to the metro. Okay, so we also have a yellow bus, which is a school bus, so it doesn't necessarily need to stop in the BRT area. Obviously, I think we could definitely do for a bit of a transit audit in this area, but it looks like this was the only bus that was really affected by everything. Everything else was probably just some legacy buses that were getting rerouted from all of our changes. So we'll come back and we'll detail this up in the detailing time lapse, but I think this is a really good start here. I like this little brick revival building. And then over here, it's pretty simple, so I think we could add to it a little bit. But now let's fix this interchange up. All right, so we have lane connections from the normal road into the BRT, because buses that, the routes get added on or something like that, they need to have access, but buses don't need to go onto the main road. And I don't think we have a bus that runs into the RCMP station, so I think we're probably good. Yeah, it's on the outside. All right, so next, let's take a look at how this area turned out. I really like it, but I don't like this parking lot here, so I think we're going to delete it, and then we'll look at choosing our own building, because I really like this farmer's market here, but it doesn't exactly work, does it? That size of one with the cars in the back, it's not exactly the type of building that would work there. So let's take a look at some of the buildings that could. So let's start off with the biggest possible option, this eco commercial, which could work, but I really like the idea of that farmer's market here, especially seeing as this is probably a walkable area. Yeah, this is definitely an area that's been changed, right? So it's right beside a pretty important park, it seems. And there's a bunch of trees in this park that don't seem to need to be there. There we go. Okay, so yeah, let's add in a bit of a farmer's market. So we'll put all on, and then we can see all of the farmer's market assets. Because there's this one here, which is like a farmer's market stand. That's really nice. And then in that case, we could also probably turn on zoning over here. All right, and then this way we could get a few market stands on this side, which I don't mind at all. Ooh, this one looks really nice right here. And, oh, no, I'd rather not buildings get built up. Yeah, if we keep kind of adding a few of these along the way, this could look really nice. Oh, I think that looks really good with how we have the pattern. All right, and then over on this side, all right, so who knew you needed scaffolding to put up tents? But hey, it works. And I think this area looks really nice. I think this could be like a really cool Saturday farmer's market. So I think we need to smooth out the terrain here, and then we'll come back at the end to detail it up, because there's still a bunch of stuff that I want to do in today's episode. And since this is the last one for a little while, in case you didn't see my post about how content is going to play out, I'll just kind of mention it briefly right now. So, Monday morning, if you're watching this live, so the following episode that is released in the video schedule if you're not, will be the series trailer for the new series, which the name, map, and mod list will all be revealed. The mod list, a little hint right now, is not going to change. What we have going on right now in this series is going to stay. I find that the mods we use right now are really good. It works for my computer. The only thing that I'm going to add on are a new set of assets that are just little teeny park assets and plaza, like little teeny parkettes that can be plopped down. We haven't used them in this series yet. I've had them for a little while in the game, but we just never really used them. So we will use them in the new series, but I think that's the only main difference. Yeah, I think the only other one would be that I unlocked all the Snowfall DLC. Snowfall DLC. All of the assets are now in this game, so we can use them as well, just without the snow. So that's Monday morning, and then Friday, the following, so a week today, will be the launch of the new series with episode 1. And we will be doing 5 episodes of the new series. And then once we've done the 5, I'm taking a 2-week break because I have family in town. And then we'll resume with a week of the new series. And then we'll come back to Fort Prairie for a week. And then we'll probably do a bit of a 1 week new series, 1 week Fort Prairie, 1 week new series, vice versa. So we'll see how that works out for a little while, but we might kind of run with this series for a good little while before we head back to Fort Prairie. But I'll definitely update you on that another time. So, seems to be flowing really well. There's not a ton of traffic. I think there's just a few small fixes, like I forgot to slope this properly. Yeah, that looks great. Really enjoy that. Probably going to need a fence along the rail here too. Probably. I think that would be a safe bet because of safety. All right, so now let's move on to the next part of the episode, which is going to be the upgrading of this road. Yeah, we're going to upgrade this road to a 4-lane road. All right, so here we go. We got the 4-lane road, and we also have a bus stop in here too, which I thought would be cool to do with like the actual bus road. So yeah, it looks like it works. I know technically it's a bit overkill on the lanes, but the best way to kind of hide the bus road was in this direction. Plus, it gives it a bit more space for the cars because, you know, sometimes when buses pulled over into their bus stop here, they're like right beside traffic, and you know it's always a little worrying if the bus driver, you know, sees you or whatnot. So, and then they pull right back into traffic. So yeah, I think that separation is good. And then we have it run all the way into here, where we have a dedicated right, because this is an industrial road, which is going to be a hub. I know this is long time planned for an industrial hub, but I know it hasn't come to fruition yet. Okay, so if we follow the rail network now, and we go over top of the BRT flyover, or sorry, underneath, and then underneath this massive intersection here, and we continue past the rural cargo station, which is just always super busy, which might mean that we need a secondary cargo hub in this area, so that might be coming in the future. But if we come all the way down here, and then we take a right at our massive overkill rail junction, we arrive at a dead end. And this dead end is going to need to get connected up all the way over here to this one here. And I genuinely believe that this is going to really improve the rail network in this area, because right now the only rail line running in this direction would be running right through Prairie Station, and then up into here. So this is going to really bypass all that traffic, all those trains that get all this rural farming goods get shipped out of here through the town to factories over on this side. So this is going to really help. And we're going to start over on this side because I really know what we're going to be doing on this side first. So we have this very busy junction with separated passenger rail, I believe. Nope, apparently not. And we're going to bring this over here. Then there's a bit of like a cliff right here, yeah. So we'll elevate it from about here, and then it'll be a bit of a rail viaduct. It'll go over top of this road, and then we'll swing it close to the estuaries over here, so we're far enough away from the airport, and then we'll pretty much have a straight shot. We'll line up what the grid is going to be like for the town of Barboursville, because it's going to be based off of a rail station, and then we'll connect it up into here. So let's start off with kind of figuring out where we're going to go. So we are already at this height, so let's clear a little bit of a path for us. And we are going to, I guess, slightly turn to the right here. And then from about here, I think we're gonna go elevated. Yeah, but let's first of all bring all these nodes that we just made to the same height as the node that we originally connected to, because this will help limit the amount of space we're actually going to need to elevate. There we go, so a bit of a rail trench. And then as soon as we break the surface from the rail trench, we will elevate it. All right, so we are now elevated. We are going to pretty much do that, I think. Yeah. So we're going to hop over this river right there, and then go over it with another node. And then we'll look at the heights for the road next. So I think the minimum height we're going to need is going to be the height to cross the river safely. And I guess it's more of like an estuary, which is probably about there, which is also the height at grade pretty much. But the road here probably needs to be changed as well. It looks like we're a bit elevated on the road, so we can sink the road a little bit. But let's see what the slope is. So that is at grade, and I think this actually looks the best. Yeah, I think this looks really, really cool. Plus, we don't need to then sink the road so much as well, which is good. All right, so let's go straight right over the road. Now, is that clearance good? It probably isn't. So let's just grab this node. We'll bring it back to here. This will be kind of our test node, and we'll bring it down. That's up. There we go. We'll bring it down to about there. That's probably good enough. And then we can slope the road down. That is a very nice, favorable slope there from this road. So now when we build Baker City, which is just going to be a small town, it will kind of we'll already know where that road's going to go. And that road is probably going to connect up with this one. And then this road will pretty much follow the rail, I believe, into Barboursville. So we are at height, and then we return to elevated here. Let's check the topography. So I think I'm going to delete this last segment and this one. I'm going to return to ground level with the rail. All right, so this straightaway is going to be where we kind of base the train station for Barboursville. I really enjoyed that we have a cut through here too. That looks really, really nice, especially seeing as we were at 0.6% on the slope, which is pretty amazing. So really enjoy how this is looking. And yeah, I think we just need to clean it up a little bit with some smoothing tool and whatnot, because this is a little bumpy here. All right, so now that we have this set, we need to connect it up. So we have this one over here. So what I'm planning on doing is rerouting this here to a bit more of a curve that comes out into this direction. And then we'll bridge this area over here, and then we'll connect it up. And then we just need to bridge. So I like to make sure that we bridge in a straight line, which doesn't make sense that we're bridging here, to be honest. So let's find a better location. The reason why it doesn't make sense is because this is a larger bridge than it has to be. So let's see, if we bridge from here, 36 units, can we get away with that? Nice, let's do that. All right, so now we have that connection. Now we can try to connect up over onto this side. So this is going to be a pretty sharp turn here. That's okay. We need to make sure that we're just elevated though. And we will curve over into this direction. Click home. There we go. And then I think I'll swing out a little bit. All right, so there we have it. We have the massive rail connection now into here really, really large rail interchange, but I'm feeling like we're going to switch that up. But with the crazy hill there, if we were going to do it, it needed the extra space for the slopes. And then we also have a connection out of bounds over here. Tough to see, but it works. And we bridged this highway over top of it. So all in all, it's going to work. And we have this connection now. A bit of a straightaway, and then it curves and winds, ducks and dives around the terrain into here, into a bit of a trench where it splits off into the many different directions trains need to go. Then if we go into the opposite direction and turn over here, we have a bit of a glitch, but we'll ignore that. The trains can come into this direction here and go into the farm where we started the episode. So with that in mind, now that we've kind of finished up the traffic and transit fix of Brownsville Crossing, I'm just going to do a bit of detailing time lapse. It'll be a quicker episode today, but I've been spending all my attention in prepping and making sure that I have everything right. The new music, the new map that I've selected. I've gone through all of the Boreal themed maps in the game, choosing the best one for the series. So there's been a lot of work behind the scenes. So we will be doing a bit of a quicker episode today. Anyways, let's hop into detailing time lapse, and we can start with the farmers market. All right, so a bit of a quick one, but here it is. We have the cafe with its seating and then some parking, playground and a gazebo behind it with a light detailed path beside it. We also added in some bus shelters over here on this side, and we have some flowers as well. And then if we go over onto the other side, back to the farmer's market, we have some just light detailing with the trees. And the path network connects underneath here and then over to this junction as well. Does it connect here? It does connect here. Okay, perfect. And then we also have the farmers market here, which I really, really like. I think this looks really nice. The farmers markets are such a great idea. Joy from Joy Build Cities builds some amazing farmers markets. If you want to check out their channel, they're part of the Skylines 6, and they are in the Discord as well. So if you like farmers market builds, highly recommend Joy Build Cities. But we also did the rail junction, which we didn't detail up, And we have the rail connection from over here over into this side, and then all the way through here. And ta-da, we have a nice rail connection. Has any train used this yet? Let's flow down here and we'll see if any train is on the new network. Doesn't look like it so far. Oh, yep. Okay, there we go. Well, that's one train and two trains that have been saved from going through Prairie Station. So that is convenient. And I think in the long run, the changes that we made today are going to have great effect on the state of being of Brownsville and the state of being of the cargo system of our little town. So I will see you on Monday for the series preview of our next installment of our journey across Canada via City Skylines. So let's get a cool little screenshot here of this town, and ta-da! Some rail fixes. Long time that have been a long time coming, but the rail issues to begin with were planned so that we'd have this episode down the line. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comment section down below. Let me know if you're excited for the new series, because I sure am. And we will talk next time. Peace out.